What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to go ahead and get into this Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Boston Celtics in round two, game one of the Eastern Conference semifinals. All right, so let's get into this, man. This game starts at 7 p.m. East Coast time. The line over-under is set at 209. Opened. Boston was minus 11. Line has since moved over-under 210. Boston minus 12, and I even saw it at 14 at one point in time, guys. But when you talk about these two teams and you talk about how they've been playing and coming into this matchup, the Cleveland Cavaliers are coming off a 7-game series win over the Orlando Magic, where they actually absolutely positively struggled on the road. Okay, the Magic did play good defense, but at the end of the day, the Magic were a one-trick pony. They were really just Paolo Banchero and then pieces running around. Franz Wagner laid down on the team when they were on the road. Then Mosley did not outcoach Bickerstaff somehow. He just kept going back to Paolo. They did not have a second option. It was sickening. And Orlando doesn't have a three-point game. All right, and when you talk about Boston, the Celtics are coming off a 5-game series over the Miami Heat and will play for their first game in 6 days. So they're coming in here with a rest advantage, guys. Okay, and the last times these two teams did meet, all right, the Cleveland Cavaliers did win 105-104 in Cleveland. It was Boston. I'm sorry, guys. It was in Boston. All right. And when you're talking about how these two teams are feeling, Donovan Mitchell said, "This is why I'm here. This is why they brought me here." I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it doesn't really mean much when we didn't come in just to win the first round. We accomplished one goal. Now we got to do it again. And that's the mindset. So, we know how Donovan is. He's locked in for this right now. But is anybody else going to come along with him? That's the question. All right. Now, when you're talking about Boston's mindset and mentality, they're pretty much going to come in and let you know straight up that we know who we are, a team that's a contender. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Donovan again. Speaking so prolific, so with so much confidence. But that's why I just don't think he's going to stay in Cleveland. But that's for another episode, another podcast, guys. Let's keep going, right? All right. The Celtics won 2 of the 3 meetings against the Cavaliers during the season. Mitchell didn't play when the Cavaliers earned a 106-105 victory on March 5th, which I believe was the last time these two teams did meet. And along with 10.5 rebounds in 77 games during the regular season, Jarrett Allen has averaged a career best 16.5 and 2.7 assists when he meets his team. Problem is, we don't know if he's going to be here. Because when you look at the injury report, you see Jarrett Allen is questionable. Allen is still dealing with that right rib contusion and is undetermined if he will suit up in game one, this Eastern Conference round 2 matchup between the Boston Celtics, guys. And of course, for the rest of Cleveland, it's the same regular suspects. Craig Porter's out, Dean Wade out, Ty Jerome out. Only thing right now is Porzingis. Okay, Porzingis, calf, out. All right, he's going to be out of commission due to that right soleus strain, and he will remain sidelined until later part May. So it's not looking good for Porzingis' return. But at the end of the day, do they really need him? We're going to find out. Okay, so when you look at these two teams and how they played in the last 10 times that these two teams have matched up, okay, you're talking about, well, hold up, what happened? There we go. I'm sorry, guys. You talk about two teams, all right, that in the last 10 times they have matched up. It's 5-5 straight up, 5-5 against the spread, and 5-5 to the over/under. On this season, they played each other a total of 3 times, and in these 3 times, Boston won twice, Cleveland won the last time, and Cleveland covered 2 out of the 3 times this season. All right, this games did go 2 under and 1 over as far as how the over-unders played out. Now, when you talk about Cleveland, you already know they went to the wire with Orlando. They're 6-4 straight up against the spread. I mean, straight up, but they're only 4-6 against the spread in the last 10 games, and it's 5-5 to the over under. Whereas Boston is 7-3 straight up, 5-3-2 against the spread, and 6 to the over, 4 to the under. So I anticipate Boston to kind of run this thing, especially how Cleveland has played on the road. Boston has an opportunity to come out slow, but I really don't think it's going to happen with that 6-day rest advantage. Then when we start to look at how these two teams have played situationally throughout the season, all right, you're talking about a Boston Celtics team that, as a home team, all right, they are 39-5, and as a home favorite this season, they're 39-5. Whereas with Cleveland, as an away underdog, they're 8-16, and just on the road for the season, they are 22-22, guys. So Cleveland is not a team you can actually rely on the road, especially when you're looking at when they are without the rest advantage. Rest advantage when when Cleveland has a rest disadvantage, all right, they are 13-11, whereas when Boston has a rest advantage, they are 25-3 straight up, guys. All right, and then when you look against the spread, all right, you also looking at a team that, as an away underdog, is 10-14 against the spread, whereas Boston is a home favorite. They come in here 24-18-2, guys. You really got to pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the numbers. I'm trying to tell you some good information right now. And when Cleveland's in a disadvantage against the spread, they're 10-13-1. Whereas when Boston is at the advantage with the rest, okay, they come in 15-12-1. All right, so you got to respect what Boston's been doing, especially when they're a home favorite. I already gave you the numbers. Now, when you're looking at over-under as a way underdog, it comes out for 10 to the over and 14 to the under for Cleveland. And as a home favorite, all right, Boston comes out 24-20. All right, so Boston tends to try to control the narrative as far as the game's concerned and how fast the pace is, especially with those threes that they got going on. In a rest advantage position, Boston goes 17 to the over and 11 to the under, whereas Cleveland goes 11 to the over and 12 to the under with one push. So you already know what it is, guys. You kind of want to look towards a couple two teams totals right now. In all honesty, guys, in all complete honesty, you got to look towards these team totals. But in the last 3 games, Cleveland's scoring 102 points per game and giving up 100, whereas Boston's scoring 108 points per game and only giving up 85.3, man. All right, now, yeah, Cleveland is in a better spot than Miami was. Don't get it twisted. All right, Cleveland does have an opportunity for Spider to come out here and kind of do what he has to do to push this team forward. This is going to come down to Tatum and Brown and White. Who's going to show up? Which one's going to be the leader today? Who's the one who's going to want to actually win? All right, because it does take a killer mindset to beat Spider. All right, and at the end of the day, if I'm just giving you what I'm giving you, the Cavaliers have won each of their last 15 Eastern Conference semifinals games. The Celtics have lost 4 of their last 6 playoff games as favorites against Central Division opponents. All right, the Celtics have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 6 games against Central Division opponents that held a winning record, and the underdogs have covered the spread in 6 of the 7 games between the Cavaliers and the Celtics. But when you talking about Boston, man, the Celtics have won each of their last 14 home games against Central Division opponents. The Cavs have lost each of their last 9 road games against teams that held a winning record. The Cavs have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 8 road games following a win. And the home team has covered the spread in 6 of the Cavs' last 7 games, guys. Each of the Cavs' last 6 playoff games against Atlantic Division opponents have gone under the total point line, and 7 of the Celtics' last 8 night games at TD Garden have gone over the total points line. So, What am I leaning? How am I feeling? Well, first off, I already got to let you know I got in at Boston minus 11.5. Not sure if it's still there. Not sure if you'll still see it right now. I'm seeing it at 12 on the Hard Rock, but I'm also leaning towards the Cavs uh, under 99.5 and the Celtics over the 112.5. I'm looking at those strongly because of the fact that the Cavs are coming out that 7-game series. It's not a good spot for them. And I know the Celtics have been itching for this. And they got the coaching advantage, they got the player advantage. It's just on whether or not Jason Tatum is going to want to come out to play, which is why I'll just probably end up playing the Celtics team total over first, and then maybe lean towards some other things in there. But yeah, I got to rock. Oh yeah, outside of the minus 11.5, guys. All right, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. See you at the window. Peace.